Okay, hello everyone and welcome back to World of Tanks Blitz. We're going to be doing another which is better review, or comparison rather, like I did for the two T-34s at Tier 5, but this time it's going to be between the two Tier 6 premium Tiger tanks, being 131 and Kuromorimine, and I'm just going to omit the Tiger bits from in front of them because we both recognise this as the Tiger 1. So I'll just omit that. And before you click off, there's going to be two parts to this video. They're all going to be in the same video. I'm going to go through the rundown of what's different between them, which one I would say is better, and I'm going to show two good games in these two vehicles like I did the T-34s. So that's the way it's going to run down, so don't click off just yet. So the two tanks, I've got exactly the same equipment loadout, and they're both Tier 6 Tigers, so they should be, in theory, the same, right? No. They're two different tanks. And can you guess which one is better? Yes, that's right, it's the anime one. The stats aren't massively different. It's not like a noticeable big difference, like with the two T-34s, with, you know, the gun depression. In this case, it is literally rather minor. When you drive both of them, you do realise the difference, you do notice it, but honestly it's not too much of a difference. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give a quick rundown of both of the stats, and then we'll talk about what's different between them. So starting off with the Kuromorimine, I'll just go through the two different stats. So we've got 1219 HP, 100 frontal turret and hull, 82 sides and rears for both, 256 meters view range, 7.58 second reload time, 145 average pen with AP, 220 with a 220 average damage, 4.1 second aim time, 0.36 dispersion, 8 degrees of gun depression, 25 kilometers per hour top speed, average speed rather, 13.1 power to weight, 20.86 turret traverse, and 30.13 hull traverse with a 749 horsepower engine with this equipment loadout. So that's the Kuromorimine. Now we'll look at 131 with the same equipment loadout. 1219 HP, 100 frontal turret and hull, 80 side and rear for both, 256 meters view range, 7.58 second reload, 145 average pen with AP, 220 with 220 average damage, 4.1 second aim time, 0.36 dispersion with 8 degrees of gun depression, 23 average speed kilometers per hour, 12.3 power to weight, 20.86 turret traverse, 13.13 hull traverse, 695 horsepower engine. Okay, so those are the stats. Now you understand why I say which one is better in terms of pure stats. If we're looking at them how they look, there's really only personal preferences, whether you prefer to have the piece of history, which is the 131, or do you prefer to have the clean, smooth cut lines of the Kuromorimine, because, you know, they are basically the same tank, except this one has got slightly better stats, and it looks slightly different as well. So the armour we're just going to forget about, because 2 mils of extra armour isn't exactly going to stop anything. You can side scrape just as well in the Kuromorimine as you can in the 131. You know, those extra 2 mils of side armour on the Kuromorimine, on the turret and hull and you know, side and rear, it's not going to make much of a difference at all, really. It's just ever so slightly different. I don't know why. I don't know whether they're trying to make up for the how they describe it, how they describe the sport, which is tankery, in the show. I don't know, but honestly, you will not notice the armour difference. You're not going to bounce a shot off the Kuromorimine and go, oh, that extra 2 mils of side and rear armour is really helping me stay alive in this game. No, those 2 extra mils of side and rear armour is not going to do anything. It's the mobility. And if you were to drive just one or the other, you wouldn't know the difference, really. If we look at the Tier 7, the actual proper Tiger, Tiger 1 with my lovely Gamescom skin on, here's the stats of the Tiger, you know, at Tier 6. It is a souped up Tiger 1, which it would never be in real life. This is far more mobile, far more manoeuvrable than it would be in real life, with, you know, that extra, with that, you know, 900 horsepower engine and that, you know, racing car turret and hull traverse. These are slightly more up to speed in terms of how the Tiger really would handle. And yeah, if you were to just drive the Kuromorimine and then on a different account after a bit you were to drive the 131, you wouldn't really notice the difference. But when you play the two, you know, side by side, and you look at them side by side, you notice the difference. You realise that 131 is just slightly more sluggish going uphill, slightly more sluggish to go places. It doesn't quite have the same acceleration. You know, it doesn't get up to the hill as fast as it does, and it is ever so slightly slower than Kuromorimine by 2 kilometers an hour. And you know, like I said, if you only play one or the other, it's really negligible. It's one more horsepower per ton ratio that's different. You get slightly less average speed with the 131 in comparison to the Kuromorimine. And you know, that's all just down to the engine power. This thing's got the Maybach HL210 TRM P45, and then let me guess, Kuromorimine is going to have exactly the same description of engine. Maybach HL230 TRM P45, yeah, but it's got more horsepower. It's a Tier 8 engine in comparison to the Tier 7 engine that's mounted on the 131. And again, I don't know why. Maybe they did it for historical, make it more like it was historically. You know, they've just taken the exact stats of the real life thing and just put them into the game one here, whereas, or they could be trying to make this thing more like the anime, where everything is bloated out of proportion, everything drives around like a race car with exaggerated top speed and handling. I don't know. But if someone was to say to me, which Tier 6 Tiger do you recommend to do better in? If, you know, which would you recommend based on stats and stats alone? You never looked at the tank and you wanted to say which one would perform better. It would be Kuromorimine, just because of the stats are slightly better. It has slightly more mobility, it's got a slightly faster average speed, it can get up to it quicker, it can slightly climb hills ever so slightly better. But other than that, they're exactly the same tank. They've got exactly the same gun, they've got basically the exact same armour, they both reload in the exact same time, they have the same HP, same reload time, same accuracy, same dispersion, same aim time, same pen. I don't even think the premium rounds are different. 195 with 131, and then we've got, where is it? 195 with Kuromorimine. It's exactly the same. And honestly, it's not too much of a difference. You're not going to realise one is far better than the other. It's just based on stats, really. And that is negligible, honestly. The real reason you get these tanks is for how they look. Whether you prefer the look of 131 or whether you prefer the look of Kuromorimine, that's the real reason you get either one of these tanks. And that is down to personal preference, really. And here's going to be the first of the 2 replays we have here. So this one is going to be in the Anime Tiger, or aka the Kuromorimine. And as you can see, it is a Tier 7 game. I am literally bottom of the team here on Alpenstadt, and I do like Alpenstadt, and I'm going to go to where I normally go in most tanks, which is sort of in the mid to the houses. And I see that KV2 with his barrel up, and I thought might as well join him as we drive down here. I don't know whether he's doing that intentionally or not, but hey, might as well. So, as you can see, it just looks a bit weird in the battle. It's very clean and cut, whereas everything else isn't. It is very anime looking. However, we're going to get some nice flanking shots here on that guy, T29. Bang, nice shot right into him. 215 damage. There's our first damage of the game. And off he goes, driving out of A. And here comes our next customer, a Tier 7 Tiger. The proper Tiger from the tech tree, and I'm going to wait here for him to pop out. Bang, there you go, nice shot right into his side. Get some nice damage on him. Then our next victim is going to be the KV1S. You know, we're spreading around the love. He's been set on fire. He's not having a fun time right now, so let's just go deliver him an 88mm, just add to it. Around he comes, bang, damage his engine, and then before he can shoot at us, the E25 rather finishes him off. Now there's that SU-152. I'm just going to drive away from there. He's killed off the KV-2. The Tiger killed off our E25. I unfortunately bounced my first shot. It goes into his track, but I can now start really farming damage off him because he's not really looking at me anymore. He's dealing with the mediums, someone bounces, and I finish him off. And so, you know, we've managed to clear the flank, we've secured base C, and we're going to keep driving over here. Now, there is still that SU-152, and there he is. I pop out. Very lucky that shot went in. I thought the Firefly was going to miss it, but the SU misses everyone, I think, and the T-3485 is shooting at us. Someone says, "Don't push, Tiger," and I'm like, I know what I'm doing. I've been driving Tigers a while now, and I started putting very nice shots into this T-3485 from over 200 meters away, and we're sniping him with this very nice 88mm. It's not as good. Look at that blind shot, kill him. It's not as good as the long 88 on the Tier 7 Tiger, but it's still a decent enough gun anyway. Too slow to kill off that SU-152, unfortunately. And then in comes the Panther. Look at him rush down here. I fire a shot, and it hits the ground because, you know, he went into the underneath the ridgeline. But we're still got to keep rolling forwards. My first shot there misses, unfortunately, because I'm firing on the move. But the Panther is dueling us out with the T-20, and I put one shot into him. Bang, very nice. And then the T-20 gets one more shot into him. I'm trying to chase after him, but I'm just still too slow. And yeah, he gets finished off by the T-20. But even so, we didn't take any damage that game at all. A couple of people shot at us, but still. And yeah, we managed to live that game. First class mastery. We did 1,994 damage there with that blind shot kill on the T-3485. Made just under 40,000 credits. Got Confederate from that. Top of the team. The next highest was the Young Panther. Their highest was the SU. 13 shots fired, 11 hits, 11 pens. Yeah. We didn't receive any hits. A couple of people shot at us, but they missed. So at least we got that going for us. 2 shots on the Tiger at least. You know, got some assistant damage. Got some other nice shots around everyone else, and overall it was just a pretty decent game. The only thing we had to pay for really was our ammo, which doesn't cost too much at all. So now I'll show you the second game of 131. So here's our second game, the one in the 131, and as you can see we're on Middleburg Encounter. It is a Tier 6 game rather than a Tier 7 game. And yeah, there's not too much really on the other team. You've got the BDR, the Tiger, the Max, the Basshorn, a couple of, you know, big scary guns there, but nothing we can't handle as a Tiger. So in we spawn. There you go, as the game decides to spawn us the right way there. So, it's not an encounter, it is an encounter battle. It's not a supremacy game though, so I'm not going to go to any particular point, but I am going to head into the town anyway, because that's the best place for heavy tanks to be in terms of angling. And we've got a fair amount of heavy tanks on our team. We've got the VK and the M6 as well as me, so I'm going to head in here as well. Here's my Tiger. You know, you can get to see it all around in the battle. Do you prefer this look or do you prefer the Kuromorimine? Because that's really the difference. And I'm just going to go over here. Don't spot anyone apart from a BDR, which someone spots. So heading over here, hoping to intercept, and bang! Nice shot into him. We also spot the enemy 131 going up the hill there. And just as we come over here, get another shot into the BDR there. Very lucky that one went in. Still chasing after him, we come over here and bang, shot at by the 131. He takes out my engine, so I repair it. I start angling myself up, seeing if I can't bounce another shot, but he's not looking at me, so I put one more shot right into his side, right into his rear armour, however. And then we come around the corner. I'm still trying to angle myself. Look at that, he destroys my ammo, and I'm going, oh really? Really? He takes out my ammo? At that angle, he takes out my ammo? And so I'm like, oh great. I can keep on putting shots into the strip of armour there, like the M6 and the T1 Heavy has. I'd try and angle myself up, but I'm at really the wrong angle there to hit him. To angle up and someone else kills him because, you know, rate of fire gets cut in half because damaged ammo and I can't repair it. Or if you had a multi-purpose, you'd be able to. Yeah, well, there's lots of things I could have done throughout all the other games. Anyway, the Dick Max has been killed off. It's just an asshole. And there's a Sherman. Ow, gets shot at by the Sherman. Snap a shot off at him. Surprisingly, it hits because we've also got a damaged gun at this point from the BDR as well. It's just going from bad to worse. However, my repair kit is about to come back online in, you know, 5 seconds, so it could be worse. We've just reloaded and bam, repair. You know, there's a rhythm for that. I didn't even realise. But there's the Sherman, bang, shot right into his frontal armour. Sherman hits us but doesn't kill us. The Tiger misses, he's not looking at me. I drive out sideways, fully expecting to die, but the Sherman's looking at someone else. I finish him off. And I put the building between myself and the 131. Still looking out for him, put a shot into the P43. And the Leo finishes him off, and now it is just that 131 left. And so we come back around the corner and I'm ready to joust with the 131. But it turns out I don't need to because he's shooting up the Leo. We've got the majority of people, we've got 4, and someone puts a 540 round into him, so I put my last shot into his lower glacis and pop off his turret. Very nice 1944 style with all these popping Tiger turrets. But even so, third class mastery, 1803 damage dealt. Got even more credits actually than the Kuromorimine because this is a premium tank. The Kuromorimine counts as a collector's tank, which means that it gets a bonus credit and XP somewhere in between a premium tank and a non-premium tank. They're sort of like a midway like center point, so they don't get quite as much as a premium tank, but at the same time they do get a better coefficient than a regular tank. So yeah, we did manage to. So even with repair, and consumable resupply and everything, we did still manage to make 43,000 credits. Second only to the box tank, who is probably the guy who put that massive 540 shot into that 131, boosting up his damage. Otherwise, we would have been top. Their next highest was a Type 64 with not even 1,000. 11 shots fired, 11 hits, 10 pens. We only had that one bounce. Still, you know, received 6 hits. Yeah. The extra 2 mils of armour off of that Kuromorimine would not have helped me in that situation. Yeah, damaged the engine of the 131 when we shot him at some point. And yeah, we got some decent assist damage. Well, not really, 73. But even so. Did you notice anything different in those 2 replays between the 131 and the Kuromorimine? No? Me neither. Not really. Honestly, if you want to compare these 2 tanks, the best way of comparing them is just how they look. Honestly, the stats, an extra 1 horsepower per ton ratio is not going to make a massive difference. Yeah, it's going to make a bit of a difference, and when I drive the 131 I do notice it to be a little bit more sluggish than the Kuromorimine, but honestly it's mobile enough. It's not massively slow. It's not like driving a KV2 around or anything. You know, it's a fast enough tank. It's slightly more sluggish, slightly worse at climbing hills than a Kuromorimine, but if you're going to compare the 2 tanks, and if you're wondering which tank to get, base it on how it looks. Honestly, that's my best advice. If you ever see this thing in the shop at the same time as this thing, I don't know whether they'll ever do that, but if you do see the 2 of them in the shop at the same time, just look at them and think, which one would I prefer to drive in a battle? Do I prefer the look of 131 or do I prefer the look of Kuromorimine? And that's just the simplest way I can put it. So yes, there you go, the Tiger comparison. I'll thank you for watching and goodbye.